Are we there? We are. Yahoo. Whoops. I'm zoomed in way too tight. Sorry about that. Okay, so still a tiny bit of wind out here, but dodged 2 thunderstorms in the last half hour, so I'm feeling pretty lucky. As I looked at this a few minutes ago, I realized it's really calling for some opaque acrylics, which is a little bit unusual. Most of the time my acrylics are either white opaque or transparent colors, but every once in a while I do opaque colors, and I believe that is in fact what I'm going to do on this painting. At the moment I'm doing opaque, traditional opaque white, but after a little bit of white I'm going to come back and do opaque, as I said, opaque colors. So I want to do some tan, brown, buff colors on the walls of the house, and I'm going to do some blue in the sky, and that might be all. Maybe a little bit of green in the grass, not sure about that. Oh, and maybe some red flowers in the bushes. Again, not sure about that. Again, it's important that my underpainting, that the underpainting lines not be too accurate, because if my underpainting lines end up falling in exactly the right spot, the finished painting will have a stiff, stilted and stultified appearance. So we wouldn't want stiff, stilted, and stultified, would we? Now, I guess I'm just, how much light do I want in this upstairs window? Not sure that I want to do, go totally Thomas Kincaid on it, and electric, neon, nuclear powered light leaking from every orifice. By the way, I like Thomas Kincaid, and I get a kick out of saying that, because as an artist, all us artists hate Thomas Kincaid. It's because most people are snobs. Okay, so maybe you don't like the fact that he chose to do sentimental stuff, kitsch, many would call it. So perhaps you don't like the fact that he did kitsch. I kind of wish he hadn't either, but you know what? He was a really good painter. He was a really good painter. And I like saying to all my students, until you can paint better than him, I don't want to hear any crap about how much you despise his painting. I just really don't want to hear it. And if you look at his plein air paintings, they were marvelous. He chose to do, and it's his life. He can do with his skill. He can do what he wants with it, and you don't have to buy it, and if you don't have to like it. But if you're an artist, you're probably shooting yourself in the foot if you despise it instead of learning from it. Okay? I mean, I want to learn something. I want to be able to learn anything from anybody. There you go. That's a big part of the way I operate in life. I don't want to be a snob about any artist. I want to be able to learn something from anybody. I don't need to like what they do, but if they're better than me, I'm stupid if I don't learn from them.
I don't follow what we need to do. I need to pick out
That's right.
My palm, my face is
I'll get
peeking
you
out
in the
window.
painting.
Oh my gosh, yes. Wow, it's coming great.
Well, thank you.
They were saying, really, we're surprised about the browns and oranges. I said, no, what do you think brown's made out of?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, look, there's a little window thing up here that I missed till right now.
Where's that? Oh yeah, way up top there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Somehow I missed that one. I'll get it in
Like a vent?
next.
Yeah,
Vent.
yeah.
And I like vents. I rarely miss them.
So whatever possessed you to start doing the two-handed painting?
Well, that is a great question. It was about, I don't know, I should have written it down, but I did 10 or 12 years ago. I guess getting closer to 12 now. Just one day, silly, nothing, no big deal, I read that Leonardo da Vinci painted with two hands.
Uh-huh.
And sort of a light bulb came on and said, is anybody paying attention here?
Yeah.
You know, one of the greatest geniuses in history painted with two hands.
Two hands.
Why is everybody else doing that? And then the other thing was, I noticed that as we get older, so, you know, 12 years ago, I'd have been about 50, 51. I said, ooh, as people get old, they tend to lose parts.
Yeah.
Arthritis, bursitis,
Oh yeah,
stroke,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And so I thought, well, I'm just going to hedge my bets.
Yeah.
If I lose my right arm, I'd like to have my left all cranked up and ready to go.
Yeah.
So those are two rather silly reasons. But I was not ambidextrous at all. Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
But once I started forcing myself and then became somewhat ambidextrous, it's like a whole new world opened up. It's like, wow. The essence of good painting is making interesting marks. And so if you paint with two hands, you have, in a sense, twice as many marks in your
work.
in your quiver, at your disposal.
Well, they always say it's good for the brain. Like,
That's
you know,
right.
Why you should, you know, periodically
Brush your
switch
teeth with
hands.
your wrong hand,
Yeah,
all that
exactly.
stuff.
Yeah. You should take a
Exactly.
different route home.
Yep.
Just to wake up the brain.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, it just irritates me to paint with one hand. It really does. And I also fear most of the time if I regress to one-handed, my right hand, I'm usually not painting very well.
Would you get too exacting?
Yes,
I think? Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I get stuck in my control freak side of my head. Yep. So I am ambidextrous now, but it wasn't for a long time. I just forced myself to keep on trying. Let me see, I don't know if I'm broadcasting right now or not. Oh, I am. Good. Feel free to say a few words.
Oh, okay. What, that I'm fascinated by watching this?
Yeah. Say, in my own opinion, it looks better in person.
Yeah, in my own opinion, it looks better in person.
There you have it,
Yeah.
folks. That's funny.
Even though it looks great on camera, I'm sure it does. You ought to be here.
Well, I've dodged
Intensity
two
of the
thunderstorms
colors.
in the last
Yeah.
45 minutes. I can't believe it.
It's been great.
Mike came out here and ordered the,
Yes, he ordered it
Ordered the
away.
wind,
Yeah, he
yeah.
said he did.
and it worked.
Well, you know, it was interesting to, at the Museum of Art, we went to the Ansel Adams exhibit, and then because we're members of the Art Museum,
Yeah.
we got to go to the first night of the Venetians. And it was amazing to see the photography and then in all the black and white, and then
Yeah.
walk into the Venetians because the intensity of their work and the size of it.
I can't believe I missed that one.
That you,
I was too busy. Yeah.
So like I said, being
Yeah.
there in person, so anyone who's watching this on YouTube who is really
Yeah,
getting
that's
a
right.
wonderful opportunity would get a even more wonderful opportunity to see it in person.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Because you really see the intensity
Yeah.
and you see the depth and you
Yep.
see it coming to life.
Yep. So at the moment, I'm doing opaque. I'm still in acrylics. I switched to oil soon.
Oh, okay.
I'm
When you
done-
said you switched to oil, I didn't realize you meant in the same
Yeah.
work.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah.
I
it'll
wanted
be
to
an
be
oil
an
painting
artist, but I didn't think I
when
could make a
finish.
living at it.
Yeah. Really? for you. Good for you. Yeah, that's really what I recommend to most young art people, unless they're really extraordinarily gifted. And then I don't recommend they go to college, but go to Art Student League of New York or something like that. Otherwise, become a designer.
Yeah.
Even in the Illustrator, the way I was for many years. It's a great way to develop.
So talk about how you ended up going from acrylics to oil in the same picture.
Yeah.
The same painting.
And I've been doing that since 2004.
Because I think most people listening to this, including myself, would have thought, well, those are two
Right.
pseudo-compatible mediums.
Right. I can't remember how I knew that you could do it. I'm trying to remember 13 years ago when I did it. I switched my style literally overnight. I wasn't in galleries at all, and I had a dear friend who was trying to help me break into galleries, and she was good friends with a nice art gallery, and so I took a bunch of my paintings in, and the owner of the gallery said, yes, you have talent, but no, it won't sell. Give me something that pops. What does pop mean? She didn't even define it.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Give me something
a big word
that
on
pops.
HGTV. Everything has to pop.
Yeah. So I had done a group project a few years before that where I had done sort of the outline of a painting in black acrylic and had members of my class, students, come on top of my black with transparent acrylic.
Okay.
And that opened my eyes. It's like, ooh, because before that I hated acrylics. But when I discovered transparent acrylics, my eyes opened up to a whole new world. And so when this gallery owner said, do something that pops, I said, well, that kind of popped.
Yeah.
So I started out in transparent acrylics. And still do to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, I knew that you could do oils on top of acrylics. I don't remember how I knew that.
Yeah, because most of you, I think by nature you would think water and oil
right,
mix.
right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
You can't go the other way around, of course. So after doing a layer of transparent acrylics, then I switched to oil because oils are much more manageable and friendly than acrylics.
And the colors are so intense.
Yeah. So I just did it.
Yeah.
I did one painting. In fact, I remember I would set up my easel at 5 points and did it was the first time I've ever done that technique, and to this day, I don't say this about especially many of my old paintings, but it was a nice painting. It's like beginner's luck or flash of insight or something. I did a very nice painting with acrylic underneath and oil on top. Been doing it that way ever since. Every once in a great while I do a straight acrylic or a straight oil. But
watercolor. You do it?
Yep, I do.
Yeah.
And when I was an illustrator, I did mostly watercolors for 25 years.
Because I thought some of your earlier work I've seen
It's possible.
were watercolors.
If you've seen on my website or here and there, I have watercolors occasionally. So I'm thinking I might be ready to go to oil. Well, I'm going to turn you people off. I'll be back in a few minutes. Thanks for watching.